Hey, so good morning. Finally got the cylinder head in. Actually came in quite quick. Came in faster from Melbourne, Australia than any packages coming from California, all the way here in Florida. So quite surprised with that. I did open it up when I first got it just to make sure nothing was damaged, and nothing was, but I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it and do a little side-by-side comparison with the old cylinder head, just make sure everything lines up. And can't install it today, I got too much going on, but I will be installing it here very shortly because I do want to get this rig back on the road. So I'm just going to go ahead and start pulling it all out of the box and see what we got. The gasket set looks really nice. It's a multi-layered steel. It is a 5-hole, so I do believe that indicates that it's a thicker head gasket. They probably send it as a one gasket does all, so there's no piston valve interference. So I got a brand new set of head bolts. They look to be fairly quality, and just bolts after all. Got some injector cups for the head. Some camshaft assembly lube. Let's try to get this out of here. Keep everything sanitary. And let's check the surface deck for any imperfections. See if I can get in a little closer for you guys. So everything looks pretty good. So one thing I will be doing is I'm going to be looking up the valve lash requirements for this, just to ensure that this thing was lashed properly from the guys there at where I got the cylinder head from. I'm going to put a link down in there that you guys check out. This seemed to be one of the more reputable cylinder head suppliers. I've seen a few. They provide gaskets, head gaskets that aren't the layered metal steel like the OEM one is, and a few guys have had failures with those. It seems like it was a traditional compressed material, and I was actually blowing past the gasket into the water jacket. So, but yeah, everything looks pretty good. Slide this one back, and I'll bring the old grungy one. Just to make sure. And it all appears to be what I need. Alright, so I got a little Scotch-Brite here and some engine cleaner. It's not brake clean, it's like a Pro Series parts cleaner. So hopefully it's some good stuff. I may follow up with some brake clean, but I'm not impressed with it. But the main goal is just to get all the oil residue, some of the staining from where the coolant was leaking into the pre-chambers and then onto the deck, because it did overlap a little bit with the setup. So let's get the cleaning. Alright, so getting ready to slap the cylinder head on here and start the torque sequence. I got the head gasket. It's all set down on there. Everything's nice and clean. Over here I got the cylinder head. I did make sure that some open valves were in the cylinders, the two center ones, because I don't know if it's a clearance issue, but I don't want to take a chance. So I got that there. Got my gear wrench, torque wrench. I got my ARP lube, and yeah. So I was gonna get right into it and see how this whole thing goes. Alright, so having issues with the GoPro. I think it's overheating. But regardless of that, hopefully this is recording. So I got the torque sequence specs from the cylinder manufacturer ETP, and I double checked them with factory Toyota. This is correct. So I'm going to keep this handy just so I don't get confused. It's basically just start going star patterns back and forth from the center all the way out. So we're going to start at stage 1 is 39 Newton meters. Stage 2 is just double checking 39 Newton meters, and I got to back them all off, retorque them to 39 Newton meters, and then the last 2 steps is all of them have to be turned 90 degrees and then 90 degrees once again. So never done degree torque bolts, but pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So, but yeah, cylinder head's bolted down real nice. I got no gaps, no issues. None of the bolts gave me any issues. I did forget to put lube between the washers and the bolt heads, so I had to pull some out and redo that, but it's all squared away now. So let me get to it here. So got the cylinder head all torqued down. I didn't have a paint marker to keep track of which ones I had done my final torque pass on, so I ended up utilizing some pinstriping paint. Worked out. I don't really care for the red on top of the cylinder head bolts, but oh well. So that's all done. Now the next step is just getting everything reassembled. So I'm probably going to start with the timing, so getting the rear timing cover on and all that stuff, getting the cam lobes lubed up with pre-assembly lube, and then getting it all buttoned up so I don't get any dirt or anything in there, and then starting everything else. Alright, well, after a couple GoPro issues, I decided just to get this thing all put together. It's been about a week. I've been driving it, testing it, and it's been running beautifully. As you can see, I got the new aluminum radiator from overseas on there. I got the 10-blade fan. I went ahead through all new V-belts, and everything has been running phenomenal. Everything's been great. Not a drop of coolant lost. See, I got the EGT probe in there. It's not wired to a gauge yet. I still have to run a coolant temp gauge down under here. There's a plugged port and a cooling passage that I'm gonna go ahead and put in there, and I got a Auber gauge to throw in there. It's a really high precision gauge. Keep a good eye on the temperatures of this motor. I don't want to do this job again. It wasn't bad, but it just it's a lot of money, a lot of time. So yeah, let me start it up for you guys. Alright, so like I said, I got about a week of runtime on it. It's been running beautifully. Next step is the exhaust. Waiting for the hoist to open up, and then once it does, gut this old exhaust out of there and start creating a new one. It should come out pretty good. I'm gonna go with the straight pipe at first. I do have a muffler available, and I'm gonna orientate the straight pipe to basically a 1-for-1 swap. If it's too loud, I can just take the muffler, put it up there with some V-bands, and be done with it. But that's gonna be coming soon. I have been working on a back storage rack system, like a pull-out drawer system. Once I get that completed, I'll show it off. All right.